Hi everyone. So I've actually changed up my project quite a bit after some feedback and also hearing some of your ideas. I decided that instead of my students making videos as, just an end product, to really use videos as their learning aspect and their development of their project. So I kind of rearranged how my website looks as well. And my learning objectives are a little bit more concise, that it's really about students learning about habitats through Google Exhibition and Expedition, and then really just putting them in a more immersive environment to learn and then to teach about what they've learned through that same environment. So, really, just like double dipping in the tech as a form of gathering information and also developing a project. One of the areas that I really developed more is my checkpoints, and I added step one, step two, step three, which coincide with my directions page. So if they're in step one, these are kind of the ideas behind it. If you're in step two, this is really the research component in step three. And then when you go to the checkpoints and you go to clearly step one, there's some resources for the teacher to use. So one thing that I've used and get great ideas from is the book by Harvey Smokey Daniels, which is The Curious Classroom. So I embedded just a video about the book and where I really get a lot of my inquiry ideas from. And I thought that's really engaging, and it's a very short clip, about a minute and a half. And then one of the ideas that actually came from that book is developing a wonder wall or a curious wall. And I think that's a great idea and actually a really good component to just always have in your classroom. So I put that idea in place as a way for a teacher to kind of do a quick assessment of where kids' ideas are at. Also, you can group kids, and and then also just to see if you have, you know, the resources to support them in the topics that they're curious about. And then just going along with the brainstorming page, um, you know, having field trips or looking back on field trips that you did with your class is another great way to have them brainstorm topics that they're still interested about, museums they might have gone to, and then just also the nonfiction books that they've been reading or they're gravitating towards in your classroom library. And so it was actually really fun developing this page because it reminded me of like the exciting parts of developing a project. And you want teachers who are going to be using this resource want to be engaged themselves. So I felt like this page was definitely doing that. Now, one of the challenges I'm going to have, and I know I'm going to have going forward, is really like developing lessons, because I clearly want to come up with lessons for teachers, but I don't want it to be completely explicit. And I'm wondering if you guys are having the same issues where are you developing explicit lessons that are like a step by step, or are you developing overview lessons of like day one, day two, where things that you can kind of go, and then also like how long are your projects taking? And that's something I'm kind of trying to mull over as well. It's like, do I want this project to be something that is extensive and takes like a long time, or do I want it to be, compacted and done in a short period of time? So these are just some of the things I'm working through and what I've kind of gotten together at this point.